I felt like I was nothing, like I could never be anything. Didn't feel anything of myself in me. I would get to where I didn't want to get out of bed. I couldn't function. I couldn't stay awake. So at first it started is if I drank, I felt worse. So if I did other drugs, then I'd wake up and I'd be awake and I'd start feeling better and I'd start doing things, but I just still wasn't myself. No matter what, I was never myself. My name's Neta, and I am from the New Life program. My brother in 2016 was looking at quite a bit of time in jail, and they had told my family about the River of Life. I had guardianship of his children until after he finished the program. They helped him get his CDL back. It changed my brother completely. But by that time, I had to move out of the house I was in. Just everything was changing again, and I was having a hard time finding work after that because I had taken a couple of years off with the kids. That's when I first started spiraling out of control. It was very chaotic. My daughter had been taken. I was using drugs. I was drinking. I had got to a point to where I was working 2 jobs, but I got in a car wreck and couldn't sustain those with the injuries, so I went back to using drugs and back to drinking. I was estranged from my family for about 4 or 5 years at that time. I found out my father was very sick, had a fast-acting brain cancer, and I went in to go see him. 2 days later, they called me and told me he'd passed away. And I lived above 9 bars. And I went downstairs and started drinking. They found me about 2 or 3 in the morning walking up a hill, and they sent me from Pocatello to Boise. Put me in the hospital there. I had been in and out of a couple mental hospitals over that 4 or 5 years, just different reasons. Knew my depression was bad, and so they took me to Intermountain. I checked myself in for an additional 7 days, and they were going to send me back to Pocatello, and I asked them not to, told them that I didn't want to. I hadn't dealt with my daughter being gone. I didn't know how to deal with it, and I needed to change. So they asked me what I wanted to do, and I checked into a few different places. I applied for Moonlight Mountain. They got me in that day. So I went there, and in that meantime, I applied for City Light, and within that month that I was there at Moonlight, I got accepted to City Light, and I've been there ever since. Before, I would always say that the Lord helps everybody but me. In the past few weeks, that has dramatically changed. I was able to go to court to get visitations for my daughter. At the same time, a year and 20 days after I had come to Boise, they filed new charges from the charges from the year before. We were able to call public defender's office in the court, and they said they would work with me on it because I chose to go to both rehabs on my own, because of what I have been doing. So when I went to court in Pocatello for my daughter, I had court for those the day before, and they dismissed the charges. I can only attribute that to the Lord. So this has completely changed my life for the better. I know from here on out, my life can only go forward and get better. I don't see it going backwards at all. I have goals again. I have ambitions again. I have things that I had completely forgot about the past 4 or 6 years. Just, I have my parents back in my life again. My mom says I lost my son. I got him back with his kids, and then I lost my daughter and her kids, but now I've got my whole family back. And rebuilding those relationships has been wonderful. And I see the growth within myself. I catch myself sometimes in wrong thinking and saying, wait a minute, and I'll ask someone to check me on it. I wouldn't have been able to do that without learning and getting the help I'm getting now. I would like to thank all the donors, because without the donors, I wouldn't be able to say that I am worth this now, and I want to be able to say that I have a firm belief in the Lord like I do now. And it's because of the donors I was able to do this and get through the rehab that I have.